A very good morning. يعطيكم العافية وعساكم على القوة. I will try to make it quick. I know we are out of time. So basically, again, I'm Ahmed Faraj, the founder and CEO of Lumofy. We'll have a very interesting topic today, inshallah, and we'll discuss further into the coming generation or the current generation, which is the Millennials and Generation Z, by preparing them for the future. And with the continued interesting topic of AI, which is still for the last almost 3 years, we are having a continuous, basically, evolvement and advancement in AI that concerns all of the industries and all of this specialization. Let me just share with you a couple of statistics. Harvard Business Review, they stated that more than public and private entities, they invest more than $350 billion on a yearly basis on ineffective learning and development initiatives. At the same time, LinkedIn, they stated, one of the studies, they stated that millennials and Gen Z, more than 90% of them, they don't stick to their jobs. And one of the biggest reasons behind that, because they don't see a proper development plan and career path, and they don't see the visualization of where they are going. Now, that takes us to a certain direction where jobs basically are about to change, but people are not ready for it. Let me share with you a scenario that happened early this year. GitHub is one of the platforms where they tackle the developers' coding. And they anticipated in the beginning of the year that almost 10% of the coding of the developers will be dependent on AI tools. 2 months back, they came and they stated that 41% of those codes was developed through AI. In the beginning, they had they inspected or they had a certain vision where AI tools will basically help developers in the coming 5 years to reduce their development efforts, their coding efforts by 90%. But imagine, within only 10 months, 41% of the codes of the developers was developed through AI. So, if we basically, within 10 months, 41% was basically developed by AI, imagine next year what will happen. That takes us to a certain direction or to a certain conclusion where World Economic Forum, they stated that AI will replace 85 million jobs across the globe. Yep. And will create 97 million jobs across the globe. Let me share with you another use case conducted in Lumofy, in our team. We all know currently, and most of the organization, they have, especially service or product-based organization, they have a business development teams. And in order for those business development teams to basically generate revenue, initially, the SDRs, they focused on generating qualified leads. A lot of companies to generate, for example, 500 leads on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, they require 5 employees to generate qualified leads by having a normal traditional sequencing, such as cold calling, sending emails to those prospects, and it goes on, doing certain campaigns through social media, and. What we have done in Lumofy, in the beginning of the year, we identified a couple of tools to basically help us to reduce the efforts of generating qualified leads, where we identified a couple of tools where it helped us to connect with expected or ideal clients through LinkedIn, where automatically it connects with them and sends invites, and based on that, it sends certain sequences messages. Based on that, when they book it books the meeting automatically, where it goes to the BDR team, and the BDR team, they tackle the qualified leads. So instead of having 5 to 10 people just generating qualified lead, today one person with an AI tools can basically create those hundreds of leads for you. Let me share with you a very interesting video showing you how AI basically impacting the SDR job.
Hello. Sean Orem. He's in sales development here at Science, and he asked me to reach out to you. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty good. I'm a little busy right now.
I totally understand, Nathan. Can I just ask one quick question before you go?
Sure.
Okay. Let me tell you a bit of a secret. I'm the AI assistant for Sean. So I'm not a real human, but an AI assistant to reach a small quota every day. Anyways, Sean identified your company as a great candidate for Science to help you drive more pipeline and opportunities for your business using the Science platform. Is that something that you are interested in?
Yeah, man, Sean talked about that. Definitely something I'm interested in, yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, the reason I'm calling you is to see if there's a good fit and a way we can help you with creating more pipeline. And by the way, if the audio is a bit laggy, that's a byproduct of the AI technology, so if I cut you off or if there's like a bit of a delay, I apologize for that in advance. But yeah, anyways, I'm curious how many sales reps and sales development reps do you currently have?
I'm not sure. Maybe equal to 10 points.
That's a solid team. So let's say like everything went just perfectly and you were using Science to scale with more leads. How many additional opportunities would you need every month?
I stopped talking about this person. And 10 months would be nice.
Okay, got it. Can you share a bit more about your past outbound experience and results?
I mean, yeah, it's been pretty cut and dry. We have SDRs, we send emails, we call, social media, all good stuff. When we book maybe averaging 3 to 4 appointments a month, so nothing crazy.
Well, based on our conversation, I have 2 resources for you that I think would really help you out. One is an article about outbound process and how you can leverage our platform, and the other is just a general best practices document on how to drive more pipeline in your industry. Do you want me to email those to you?
Alex, I can't lie, I'll actually read them, but you're more than welcome to send them my way.
Great. Now let me actually set up a call for you with one of our go-to-market specialists who can dive a little deeper on how Science can help you drive more opportunities. So could you please confirm that nathan@gmail.com is your email address?
Correct.
Okay, just a sec. Okay, it looks like we have available on September 19th at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Which time works best for you?
Yeah, let's do the 11 a.m. That'll work.
I'll lock in that time for you. Well, I'm really excited to hear how your call goes and most importantly, to see you get results. So that being said, everything is good to go over here. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Thanks, Alex. You too. I actually just got the email too that the meeting is confirmed, so I really appreciate that was fast.
You're welcome, Nathan. I'm glad to hear that. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any other questions. Have a great day.
Thank you, Alex. Bye-bye.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah? So basically, an AI tool, it does for you the calling, which is the initial meetings, where basically it books for you those type of meetings without, instead of having a couple of SDRs in the company doing the out calls, and a system currently, it's working. It's not something for the future. It creates all of that, generates those AI calls and books for you the meetings. That takes us for something which tracking the future of jobs, where a couple of weeks back, the CTO of OpenAI, she stated that, yes, we as a ChatGPT, we are replacing jobs. We are eliminating certain jobs, but at the same time, what we are doing, we are bringing or developing or bringing new jobs to the market. For example, instead of having sort of tech engineers, now you need to have prompt engineers in the company. So yes, as I said earlier, AI will remove jobs, but at the same time will create new jobs. The same thing, it goes back to the GitHub, which they announced that 41% of the coders or of the developers, they develop their code through AI tools. That shows you something. In the coming couple of months, we are not saying now years, with that investment that we have, in the coming couple of months, instead of having developers, we would have logic thinkers, People who have a strong logic, where they can command those AI tools to develop those type of platforms for us. Now, why millennials and Gen Z demand our attention? So 78% of millennials and Gen Z, they fear the lack skills to advance their career. 71% are concerned they lack education to advance their career. 58% are worried their skills are already outdated. 70% feel unprepared for the future of work. Now, we really need to do the big shift. That's the concept now. A lot of organizations, a lot of HR professionals today, they are practitioners, they are administration, they are focusing on operational aspect of the day-to-day of the business. Now we need to shift that hat. And instead of looking at things as a job role focused, now we need to move to skill-focused organizations. What do I mean by skill-based organizations? So when we talk about skill-based organization, and instead of saying that I need a sales manager, I need to say I need a strong negotiation skills. Instead of looking at jobs as a job roles and job descriptions, I need to look at what skills that I require for my company to achieve my direction. That being said, as Mr. Hussein earlier said, a lot of companies today, they still do the same practices, unfortunately. So they come and they identify a couple of training institutes in the beginning of the year. They say, okay, they have those type of trainings. I will allocate a couple of people to those trainings. So still, it's a knowledge-based type of a training. So instead of being a knowledge-based type of training, we need to basically to do a skill-based. So as a skill-focused company, we need to think of a skill mastery. And instead of sending people to a normal traditional training and sending them 2 days, 16 hours, and basically we don't know if they come back to the work, they will implement what they have learned or not. And instead of that, we need to put them in a practicality type of a direction, where people, they have to go through certain paths that consist different type of objects and activities, where basically we convert that knowledge into capability, and that capability into skill, and that skill will convert into skill mastery, or we have expert people. So still people, still organization, they focus on calculating their direction on a completion, of course, which still they don't have a proper pathways or direction where they can do practical applications for their employee. And today, with the technologies, with the tools that we have, we can create a seamless experience for our employees from day one, from onboarding, from career progression, from looking at things from a skill perspective and instead looking at things from a job aspect. Now, top skills of 2025. So, still, we are seeing that we need to shift our hats. Still, core skills are the soft skills. For us to change, for us to drive the change, still we require cognitive skills. Still we require self-efficacy skills. Still we require technology skills. So by World Economic Forum, they stated the most common, interesting or core skills that organizations they require, which are the cognitive skills, technology skills, management skills, and self-efficacy skills. That being said, we all know that top consultants today, when they recruit, they look at where does those people graduated from. McKinsey lately, they changed that strategy. They said, instead of saying of that specific individual is graduating from MIT or Harvard, now they are basically changing their entire strategy. They look into the skills of those people. Now, every industry has a different type of culture. Unfortunately, again, we have a lot of movements between organization to an organization. So when an HR professional, they come, for the last 10, 15 years, they worked in a retail sector. And when they move to oil and gas sector, they still think that the same culture of the retail can be done within oil and gas culture. And that's one of the biggest mistakes where HR professionals today, they lack insights. And lacking insights creates different strategical implementation within the company. So, as we can see, different sectors, they require different type of cultures. And for us to have and implement different type of cultures, we need to have insights where, okay, I'm in oil and gas industry, and oil and gas requires to be more focused as a core values to be health and safety driven. We require to, if I'm in banking, I need to be more compliance driven. So those type of core values that amplify on and in the organization what has come to into looking into the culture. This is where we can have a very clear strategical direction of which elements that we need to focus on in our industry from a technological advancement and from a basically from augmentation direction. One of the biggest indicators of how or why companies they hesitate to adopt a new tech because of lack of talent in the labor market. So I know still our universities, unfortunately, they are having the same momentum of curriculums and education, which the advancement of the technological advancement that we have in the market and where the universities are not being aligned with the required skills in the market. This is the responsibility now. That responsibility goes now to the organization where they really they need to look into things from a skill perspective. The reality of existing skills, basically again, 75% of companies have reported difficulty in recruiting qualified talent. Now, how to get the skills the organization need for the future? So, Deloitte lately, they basically did a study on Unilever, seeing how they are building a skill-based organization. And they identified that there is a certain direction of how can I basically align my business objective with the required skill sets. So if the organization going towards a certain direction, and that certain direction has a certain strategic objectives, they identify that they require a certain level of skill sets when it comes to behaviorally, cognitively, leadership, technically, and goes on. And when you identify those specific skill sets to achieve the strategic direction of the organization, it requires for you to understand where does your employees stand against those skills. So initially, step number one, you have to do the assessment direction. You assess your employees through the different verification aspects. Let's say I want to assess their behavior. I will do personality inventory, psychometric assessment. I want to assess their leadership skills, so I will do some certain leadership talent assessments. And I want to see basically technically where do they stand. So again, as earlier they said, there is a lot of technologies today where it will equip you to do a very quick skill assessment through quizzes, or you can do those type of talent assessments to understand where does your employees today stand against the required skills to achieve your business objective. 2, identifying skill gaps and prioritize based on the priority of your organization direction. 3, design and implement skill building activity. Let me just focus on that aspect again. When we say skill building activities, it doesn't mean sending a person 2 days to a training, they will obtain that skill. It means individuals and organizations, they need to go through a certain different level of activities or objects where we can take this knowledge into ability and ability into skill. And they have to go through different objects such as online courses, live sessions, discussions, one-to-one session, and quizzes till we make sure we build that skill, and that skill is recorded and basically having on your platform. 4, build the skill, as I said, through the activities. 5, applying the new skill on the job and measure improvement. Now, saying all of that, and you are using today still an Excel sheet, that's a problem. And unfortunately, a lot of organizations today still are using Excel sheets to measure and track and all of that. Again, today there are a lot of tools where to help you to end-to-end where the employees, they can go through a seamless experience from onboarding their career progression. So redesigning work around skills rather, as I said, job titles. Having a skill hub by understanding how the work is organized. As I said earlier, today, certain organizations, they are testing this out in their organization. And when they look at things from a job null. They look from projects and tasks. What type of projects I have, what type of tasks I have, and which skills those tasks and projects requires. And basically, based on that, I align different people towards that job or towards that project and task. 2, who does the work? So individual with unique portfolio of skills and other attributes rather than standardized job holders. Now, if we look at our organization and from a job role perspective, still we face a lot of difficulties to assign the right people in the right projects and in the right tasks. 3, which is how our decisions are made, where skills rather than jobs inform workforce decisions from hire to retire. So a roadmap to upskill and reskill your organization with insights, where today I want to understand that's my direction, and based on my direction, I require that competency framework and those skills. And where does my employees stand against those skills, and how I can assist them to build a learning path for them or a development path for them. You need a very comprehensive end-to-end tool where it can track for you from the recruitment, onboarding, career progression, and it goes on, which you require data-driven insight. You require AI-powered personalized paths. You require intelligent content creation. You require multimedia and interactive learning. You require intelligent tutoring. You require language learning support and enhanced accessibility with collaborative learning. Gen Z and millennials, basically today, they require purpose, growth, and empowerment. A skill-based organization see results. Based on Deloitte study on Unilever, they stated that 63% more likely to achieve results than those that have not adopted skill-based practices. 79% more likely to have a positive workforce experience. 49% more likely to improve processes to maximize efficiency. 52% more likely to have innovate. 198% more likely to have a reputation as a great place to grow and develop. 98% more likely to retain high performance when they implement the skill-based approach. The future of skill is now. Thank you so much and have a good day.